Hey grade 7, and welcome to another edition of Mr. V Teaches Math. Today we're going to move on in our look at fraction operations, and we're going to move on to something called multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. And so our goal for today is that we're going to be using different strategies to multiply and divide these mixed numbers. So let's get right into it. The problem that we're going to start with today is that my sister told me that she wants to get back into running. And so she decides that her goal is to be able to run 10 kilometers in one go. So she's started running laps at a track near her house. Now at this track, every 2.5 laps that she runs is 1 kilometer. So she is curious how many laps she needs to run so that she's running 10K. And so that's going to be a problem that's going to require some multiplication, and we're going to be able to use a mixed number and then by a whole number actually. So here's how the solution works. So she starts with this multiplication question of 2.5 times 10. Okay, 2.5 is the number of laps that she has to run that equal 1 kilometer, and then 10 is the number of laps that she wants to write. So she needs to multiply those two numbers. What she does is she first converts the mixed number to an improper fraction. And then she also puts the whole number over 10. So what happens is when you convert 2.5 to an improper fraction, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2, and then you put the whole number over 1. So you end up with 5 over 2 times 10 over 1. Now, if you don't do any cross cancellation, 5 over 2 times 10 over 1 just equals 50 over 2. You can't actually cancel out. You can divide 2 by 2 and then 10 by 2, so you would end up with 5 over 1 times 5 over 1 actually, which would give you 25 over 1, which still equals 25. So convert to an improper fraction, put any whole numbers over 1, cross cancel if you'd like, and then figure out the answer. So she needs to run 25 laps if she's going to be able to run 10 kilometers in one go. Okay, so moving on to some division. We have this dividing mixed number example that I'm going to go through with you. My brother-in-law is a pretty fit guy as well, and he decides that he's going to run 15 laps of the same track. And again, if every 2.5 laps equals a kilometer, how many kilometers does he run? Now, there's a little note here, it's in red, but when multiplying or dividing with mixed numbers, first remember to rewrite them as an improper fraction, and then once you're finished calculating your answer, you can convert back to a mixed number if it's necessary. Okay. Now the problem with my brother-in-law here is going to require us to do this operation: 15 laps divided by 2.5 laps. And so we put the whole number over 1. We reconvert the mixed number into an improper fraction. And what happens is I choose to use the reciprocal method. So I flip the sign from division to multiplication. I flip the fraction from 5 over 2 to 2 over 5. So I use the reciprocal method. Then what I did here was I cross-canceled. I looked at this numerator and the denominator on the right and saw that there was a common factor of 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that gives me 3 over 1 times 2 over 1, which gives me an answer of 6 over 1, and then make sure that your answer gets written out in simplest form. Okay. So, some more examples of multiplying and dividing by using mixed numbers. And so what we have here is the first example is 2 3/4 times 1.5. And what I do is I convert each of these mixed numbers to improper fractions, so it becomes 11 over 4 times 3 over 2. There's no chance to cross cancel here. So what we do is we just 11 times 3 is 33, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 goes into 33 4 times with 1 left over, and 8 stays the same denominator. Over here, I have a division question. 2 2/5 divided by 1.5. And so that gives me an answer, once I do my conversion, of 12 over 5, because 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then 1.5 converts to 3 over 2. And so we use the reciprocal method again. So we flip the numbers in the second number here, the second fraction, change the sign to multiplication. Now there ends up being a chance to cross cancel. 12 and 3 have common factors of 3, And so 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So it's 4 over 5 times 2 over 1 rather, which gives us 8 over 5. And then 5 goes into 8 once with 3 left over, 3/5 left over. Okay, and those are some strategies for multiplying and dividing fractions.